The city streets were quieter than usual that evening, blanketed in a thin layer of frost. Streetlights flickered as the icy wind cut through the alleys, and most people hurried home, trying to escape the chill. Among them was Mr. James Thornton, a single father and CEO of a small tech company, walking hand in hand with his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. Lily's small voice, usually full of curiosity and laughter, suddenly grew serious. "Daddy, look," she said, pointing toward a dark corner under a dim street lamp. James squinted through the cold air and saw her. A young mother, her clothes tattered and thin, was huddled on the sidewalk. In her arms was a tiny baby, no more than a few months old, shivering violently. The woman's face was pale, her teeth chattering. "Daddy, the baby is freezing," Lily cried, her small hands reaching out instinctively. James's heart sank. He had seen homelessness before, read about it in the news, but nothing prepared him for the sight of a newborn in such danger. He immediately took off his heavy winter coat and wrapped it around the mother and child. "It's okay," he said softly. "You're not alone." The mother looked up, her eyes wide with fear and relief. Her lips trembled as she whispered, Thank you." Lily tugged at James's hand, her eyes shining with determination. "Daddy, we have to help them. We can't just leave them out here." James knelt down to Lily's level. "You're right, Pumpkin. Let's make sure they're safe first. Then we'll figure out how to help." That night, with the icy wind biting at their cheeks, father and daughter guided the mother and her baby to a nearby cafe that stayed open late. Inside, the warmth was immediate, a stark contrast to the harsh world outside. James ordered hot drinks for the mother and wrapped blankets around the baby. As Lily stroked the tiny hands of the baby, she whispered, "See, Daddy? We're making a difference already." The cafe was quiet except for the soft hum of the heater and the occasional clinking of cups. James had taken a corner booth and motioned for the mother to sit down, still wrapped in his coat. Lily perched beside her, her small hands gently covering the baby's tiny fingers. The mother hesitated at first, glancing around nervously. Her eyes, a mix of fear and exhaustion, darted to James and Lily. I don't want trouble," she whispered. "I'm just trying to survive." James shook his head gently. "No trouble. We just want to help. You don't have to do this alone tonight." The woman's lips quivered as tears began to fall. She introduced herself as Maya, a young mother who had recently lost her job and home. "I didn't know where to go. I couldn't keep my baby warm. I'm so sorry." Her voice broke with every word. Lily, who had been watching intently, leaned forward. "Daddy, we have to do more than just give them blankets. She has no home." James nodded, feeling a mixture of sadness and determination. "We will, Lily. But first, let's make sure she and the baby are safe. Then we can figure out next steps." They spent the next hour quietly talking. Maya shared bits of her story. Her apartment lease had been terminated unexpectedly. Her family was far away, and she had no friends in the city to turn to. Her baby, Noah, was only 4 months old, and she feared for his health in the freezing streets. James reached into his bag and pulled out his phone. "We need to find a safe place for you tonight. There are shelters open this late, and I know some friends who can help tomorrow." Maya's eyes widened. You would really help me?" she asked, her voice barely audible. James smiled softly. "You're not alone anymore." Lily wrapped her small arms around Maya's shoulders. "See, Mommy? It's going to be okay. We'll make sure Noah doesn't freeze tonight." For the first time in weeks, Maya felt a spark of hope. The warmth of the cafe, the kindness of strangers, and the innocence of a child's compassion began to lift the weight of fear she had been carrying. After a few more minutes in the cafe, James realized that they couldn't stay there forever. He knew the night was far from over for Maya and her baby. He signaled Lily, who immediately understood. "Lily," James said gently, "we need to find a safe place for Maya and Noah to stay tonight. Can you help me?" Lily nodded eagerly, her little face serious. "Yes, Daddy. Let's find them a warm bed." James pulled out his phone and began calling a few contacts he trusted, friends, colleagues, and even a local shelter that sometimes accepted emergency cases. Meanwhile, Lily sat beside Maya, cooing softly to baby Noah, who had finally stopped shivering after being wrapped in the extra blanket James had brought. After a few tense minutes, James finally reached someone at a nearby women's shelter. "Yes, we have an emergency bed available," the operator said. "We can take them in tonight. Bring them as soon as you can." James exhaled in relief. "Thank you," he said, his heart lightening for the first time since discovering them on the street. He turned to Maya. "You're going to have a warm place tonight. You're safe now." Maya's eyes filled with tears, and she whispered, I don't know how to thank you. I've never felt safe like this in months." Lily grabbed Maya's hand. "You don't have to thank us. That's what families do. We look out for each other." James helped Maya stand, making sure baby Noah was secure in her arms. As they stepped out into the cold night, Lily held her father's hand tightly, her small frame braving the icy wind with determination. By the time they reached the shelter, the receptionist greeted them warmly and led them to a private room for mother and child. James stayed long enough to make sure they were settled, bringing extra blankets and some snacks. "Thank you, Mr. Thornton," Maya said quietly, holding Noah close. I don't know what I would have done without you and your daughter." James smiled, his eyes softening. "Just take care of each other. That's all we want." Lily waved goodbye to Maya and Noah. "Sleep well, Noah. We'll come back tomorrow to see how you're doing." The next morning, sunlight streamed through the windows of their apartment, but James's mind was already racing. Lily was at the breakfast table, munching on toast, her small face thoughtful. "Daddy," she said between bites, "we have to make sure Maya and Noah have more than just a bed tonight. They need food, clothes, and a safe place to stay long term." James nodded, sipping his coffee. "You're right, Pumpkin. Last night was just step one. Today, we figure out the next steps." He picked up his laptop and started making calls. He reached out to local charities, food banks, and some colleagues who specialized in social work. Each call brought a little more hope. Within hours, he had secured a bag of warm clothes, diapers, and formula for baby Noah, as well as a social worker who could visit the shelter to discuss long-term housing options. Meanwhile, Lily rummaged through her own closet and brought out several warm blankets, a few baby clothes, and even some of her favorite toys. "Daddy, Noah can have these. They'll make him happy." James smiled, feeling a surge of pride. "You're amazing, Lily. Helping someone doesn't have to be big at first. It just has to come from the heart." By late morning, James and Lily made their way to the shelter. Maya was in the common room, looking more rested but still worried. Baby Noah was sleeping peacefully in a small crib provided by the shelter. James knelt beside her. "Maya, we brought some supplies for Noah and you, clothes, blankets, formula. And we've connected with a social worker who can help with housing and jobs." Maya's eyes filled with tears again. I don't even know what to say. I feel like I've been invisible all these months, but you actually cared." Lily tugged at Maya's sleeve. "You're not invisible anymore. You have us now." James smiled, but inside he knew the real challenge was just beginning. Rescuing them from the streets was one thing, but rebuilding a life after months of fear and uncertainty would require patience, persistence, and sometimes sacrifice. That afternoon, they sat together with the shelter's social worker. The plan was outlined: temporary housing for a few months, childcare assistance, and a program to help Maya find a stable job. Each step brought Maya closer to stability, but James could sense her lingering fear. Trusting people again after being alone on the streets wasn't easy. As they left the shelter, Lily skipped beside him. "Daddy, tomorrow we'll bring more toys and clothes. And maybe we can read to Noah too." James laughed softly. "Yes, Lily. Tomorrow we'll bring hope, one little piece at a time." The following morning, James and Lily returned to the shelter, carrying a bag filled with warm clothes, baby blankets, and a few colorful toys Lily had carefully picked out. Maya was sitting in the common room, rocking baby Noah gently, her eyes still shadowed with exhaustion. "Good morning, Maya," Lily chirped, holding out a soft teddy bear. "This is for Noah. He can hug it when he misses home." Maya smiled faintly, her lips trembling. Thank you both. It means a lot." James set down the bag of supplies and sat beside her. "How are you feeling today?" he asked gently. Maya sighed, her gaze distant. "It's hard. I've been on my own for so long. I thought I could handle it." But her voice faltered as tears welled up. When I lost my apartment and job, I didn't know where to turn. The streets, they're cruel, and I couldn't protect Noah. Lily reached over and took Maya's hand. Daddy says we'll help. You're not alone anymore. Maya's eyes softened, and for the first time, she allowed herself to cry openly. James handed her a tissue, sitting quietly as she poured out months of fear, loneliness, and desperation. She spoke of nights huddled under bridges, of meals skipped, of strangers who looked but didn't help. And through it all, she carried the weight of protecting her tiny baby from the cold and hunger. James listened intently, feeling a deep surge of empathy. Maya, you've done the best you could in impossible circumstances. And you're still here, protecting Noah. That's courage, he said softly. Maya looked at him, eyes glistening. But how do I start over? I have no family here. No one to help me. James leaned closer. Step by step. That's all we ask. Tonight you're safe. Tomorrow we find more resources, and slowly, we'll help you rebuild. Lily bounced slightly on her chair. I can help too. We can play with Noah, read him stories, and make him happy. Maya chuckled through her tears. You're very brave for a little girl, she said, squeezing Lily's hand. Thank you for caring so much. By the time they left the shelter that day, Maya seemed lighter, as if sharing her story had eased some of the weight she had been carrying alone. James knew this was just the beginning. He and Lily would have to be patient, consistent, and present for her. As they walked back through the city streets, the winter sun glinted off the icy sidewalks. James glanced down at Lily, her eyes bright and determined. You know, Pumpkin, he said, sometimes helping someone isn't about solving everything at once. It's about being there when they need you most. Lily nodded. I get it, Daddy. And I want to help her and Noah every day. A few days had passed since James and Lily first helped Maya and baby Noah. Maya was slowly adjusting to shelter life, and Noah's health was improving thanks to proper nutrition and warmth. But James quickly realized that helping her rebuild a stable life would not be as simple as he had hoped. That morning, James and Lily arrived at the shelter with groceries and clothes. Maya greeted them with a tired but genuine smile. Thank you. I don't know how I ever survived before, she said softly. James smiled back, though his mind was already racing through plans for the next steps. Maya, today we're going to work on finding a longer-term housing solution. The shelter can only keep you for so long, and I want you and Noah to have stability. Maya's expression darkened slightly. I'm scared, Mr. Thornton. I don't know if I can trust people. I've been let down so many times. James nodded knowingly. I understand, and you don't have to trust everyone immediately. But we'll take it slow. We'll show you that people can care. The first obstacle came sooner than expected. The social worker from the housing program called. The wait list for affordable housing was long, and priority was given to single mothers already enrolled in job programs. Maya had neither a job nor previous enrollment. I don't know how I can get a job, Maya admitted, holding Noah close. Who would watch him while I work? I don't have family here. James put a comforting hand on her shoulder. We'll figure out together. Lily and I can help with Noah, and we'll reach out to childcare programs. It will take time, but we'll make sure you're not alone. Lily, who had been quietly listening, piped up, her voice full of determination. Daddy says we can make a schedule. I can help read to Noah and play with him while Maya does what she needs. We'll make a plan. Maya looked at Lily, a mixture of surprise and gratitude in her eyes. If you really want to help a little girl you just met. Lily nodded firmly. Of course. Noah is part of our family now. That evening, James sat at his laptop, researching all possible options. Temporary housing, childcare assistance, and employment programs that could accommodate a young mother. He drafted emails, made calls, and even arranged for a friend to help Maya with a resume and interview prep. Despite the progress, James felt the weight of the challenges ahead. The streets had almost claimed Maya and Noah once, and now they had to work against an entire system that made survival difficult for those without resources. But looking at Lily, eager and full of hope, he knew they couldn't give up. The following morning, James and Lily returned to the shelter with more supplies. This time, a small bag of groceries, and a few colorful toys Lily had picked out. Maya was waiting, looking more alert and hopeful than she had a few days ago. "Good morning, Maya," Lily chirped, holding out a soft rattle for baby Noah. "This is for him. He can play with it while we help him stay happy." Maya's lips curved into a genuine smile. "Thank you, Lily. You're very kind." James pulled out his phone, having scheduled an appointment for Maya with a local employment program that helped young mothers return to work. "Maya, today is the day we start working on getting you back on your feet. I've arranged a meeting with a counselor who can help you prepare for interviews and even find childcare for Noah while you work." Maya's face fell slightly. I'm nervous. I haven't worked in months, and I feel like I'll fail. And who will watch Noah if something goes wrong?" James put a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We'll help you every step of the way. I'll check in daily, and Lily wants to help too." Lily, who had been quietly observing, spoke up with determination. "I can help. I can read to Noah, play with him, and make sure he's happy while you're busy. We're a team." Maya looked at Lily, eyes wide with surprise and gratitude. You really want to help a little girl you just met?" Lily nodded firmly. "Of course. Noah is part of our family now." That afternoon, James and Maya went to the employment center while Lily stayed at the shelter, playing with Noah and keeping him entertained. The counselor greeted Maya warmly, asking about her experience, her skills, and her goals. Slowly, Maya began to open up, sharing her passion for childcare and her dream of becoming a nursery teacher. By the end of the session, the counselor had arranged for a few part-time opportunities with flexible hours and connected her to a daycare nearby. Maya's eyes shone with cautious hope. I didn't think I'd get this chance." "Thank you." James smiled. "You earned it, Maya. You just needed a little help to find your way." Meanwhile, back at the shelter, Lily was singing softly to Noah, who giggled and kicked his tiny legs in delight. Even in the midst of challenges, small moments of happiness were beginning to take root. That night, as James tucked Lily into bed, he reflected on the day. It wasn't just about providing food, clothes, or shelter. It was about restoring hope and confidence. And he realized that with consistent support, love, and patience, Maya could reclaim her life. That a week had passed since Maya began the job program, and progress was steady, but not without obstacles. That morning, James and Lily arrived at the shelter to find Maya sitting quietly, her shoulders slumped, staring at Noah as he played with a small toy. "Good morning, Maya," Lily called cheerfully, holding a new set of baby clothes she had picked out. "Look, these are for Noah." Maya forced a smile, but her eyes were clouded. "Thank you, Lily. He'll need them," she murmured, her voice heavy. James sat down beside her, concern etched on his face. "Maya, what's wrong? Did something happen at the program?" Maya shook her head. I didn't get the position I applied for. They said they needed someone with more experience, and I feel inadequate. I tried so hard, but it's like the world keeps pushing me down." James reached out, gently taking her hand. "Maya, one setback doesn't define you. You're learning, you're growing, and every step, no matter how small, gets you closer to where you need to be." Lily, sitting beside Maya and Noah, looked thoughtful. "Daddy says when things get hard, you have to keep trying. Right, Daddy?" James nodded, smiling at his daughter's wisdom. "Exactly, Pumpkin. Sometimes life tests us, but that doesn't mean we stop helping ourselves. We try again, and we keep going." Maya sighed, looking at Noah's innocent face. I don't want him to grow up like me, struggling, scared, and hopeless." James's voice softened. "And you won't let that happen. You're taking steps to change your life, and that's what matters. Baby Noah has you, and now he also has Lily and me. We're in this together." Lily leaned over and whispered to Noah, "See, Noah, we're your team. We won't let anything stop us." That day, James helped Maya rewrite her resume, highlighting her strengths and experiences, while Lily read to Noah to keep him entertained. They practiced interview questions together and even role-played scenarios to boost her confidence. By evening, Maya felt a flicker of hope. "Thank you, both of you. I feel like I can try again," she said, a small smile appearing. James patted her shoulder. "That's the spirit, Maya. Tomorrow is a new day. And with persistence, something good will come. As they left the shelter, the city's cold air seemed a little less harsh. James realized that helping someone wasn't always about immediate success. It was about showing up, offering support, and reminding them that setbacks were only temporary. Over the next few days, Maya began showing small but meaningful signs of progress. She attended workshops at the employment center, practiced interviews, and even started networking with other mothers who had successfully returned to work. James and Lily were with her every step of the way, offering encouragement and practical support. One morning, as they arrived at the shelter, Maya looked brighter than she had in weeks. Baby Noah cooed happily in her arms, wrapped in one of Lily's soft blankets. "Good morning, Maya. Noah looks happy today," Lily exclaimed, bouncing on her toes. Maya smiled genuinely this time. "Yes, he is. And I feel a little more hopeful, too." James nodded. "That's great, Maya. Remember, every small step counts. You're moving forward." That afternoon, Maya received a phone call from a child care center she had applied to. "We'd like to offer you a temporary position while you complete your training," the voice on the line said. Maya froze for a moment, barely believing what she was hearing. Tears of relief streamed down her cheeks. I can't believe it. Thank you so much." James smiled, feeling a wave of pride. "You earned this, Maya. Hard work pays off, even when it feels impossible." Lily jumped up and down, clapping her hands. "See, Daddy? I told you. We can do it. Noah will be happy, and Maya will have a job." Maya laughed through her tears. "I can't thank you both enough. I feel like there's a real future for us now. I finally see a way out of the darkness." Despite the glimmers of hope, James knew the road ahead would still be challenging. The temporary position was just the first step. Maya still needed long-term housing, financial stability, and emotional support. But for now, the small victories gave them all the motivation to keep moving forward. That evening, as they walked home through the crisp winter air, James glanced at Lily, her face glowing with excitement. "You see, Pumpkin, even when things are hard, persistence and kindness can create real change." Lily nodded, hugging him tightly. "I'm so proud of Maya and Noah, and I'm glad we helped them." Maya's first day at the child care center arrived, and with it came a mix of excitement and anxiety. James and Lily accompanied her to drop off Noah, making sure she had everything she needed: clothes, diapers, and a packed lunch. "You're going to do great, Maya," James said, giving her a reassuring hug. "Remember, one step at a time. We believe in you." Lily held Maya's hand tightly. "And I'll make sure Noah is happy while you work." Maya smiled, taking a deep breath. "Thank you. I couldn't have done this without both of you." The morning went well. Maya quickly adapted to the routines of the center, engaging with children, learning new techniques, and impressing her supervisors with her dedication. But by midday, reality hit. The temporary position came with its own pressures: strict schedules, demanding tasks, and the constant worry about balancing work and caring for Noah. That evening, when James and Lily arrived at the shelter to check on her, Maya looked exhausted. She sank into a chair, cradling Noah. "I thought I was ready, but it's harder than I imagined. I'm scared I won't be able to handle everything." James sat beside her, his tone calm but firm. "Maya, it's normal to feel overwhelmed. You're juggling a lot, but that doesn't mean you're failing. We'll figure out a plan, step by step." Lily, ever determined, added, "We can make a schedule," Daddy said. "I can read to Noah, play with him, even feed him sometimes. You don't have to do everything alone." Maya's eyes filled with tears, but this time they were tears of gratitude. "You too, you really care. I've never had anyone like this before." James nodded. "That's what family does. And right now, we're your family." Over the next few days, they implemented a support system. James adjusted his own schedule to assist with childcare. Lily helped entertain Noah during crucial times, and Maya slowly adapted to her work responsibilities. Each small success built her confidence. Those setbacks still appeared: missed deadlines, exhaustion, and moments of self-doubt. Through it all, the bond between Maya, Noah, James, and Lily grew stronger. They were no longer just helpers and recipients. They were a team, relying on each other in ways none of them had expected. At a few weeks into Maya's new job, life seemed to be settling into a fragile rhythm. Noah was thriving, Maya was gaining confidence, and James and Lily had become an inseparable support system. Yet, life had a way of testing even the strongest resolve. One morning, Maya received an unexpected call from the child care center. "Maya, we've had an unexpected scheduling conflict," the supervisor explained. "We may need you to work additional hours this week, including some late evenings. Can you manage?" Maya's stomach sank. More hours meant more stress, and she worried about who would care for Noah during the extended shifts. She glanced at James and Lily when they arrived at the shelter that day. I don't know how I can do this. I can barely handle the current schedule, and now they want more hours. I feel like I'm failing Noah." James knelt beside her. "You're not failing, Maya. This is a challenge, not a judgment of your abilities. We'll adjust things. Lily and I will make a schedule for Noah while you work those extra hours. We're in this together." Lily immediately sprang into action. "I can bring toys and books to Noah, feed him snacks, and even read stories while Maya's at work. We can make it fun for him." Maya smiled weakly, touched by their dedication. "You too. I don't know what I would do without you." Over the next few days, the trio adjusted to the new routine. James coordinated his work schedule to allow him to pick up Noah from the shelter, while Lily took on the role of playmate and little guardian angel. Maya pushed through her exhaustion, determined to show she could handle the responsibility. One particularly challenging evening, after a long day at work, Maya returned to find Noah giggling happily at Lily's side, completely at ease. The sight brought tears to her eyes. "He's so happy, and I didn't have to worry," she whispered. James put a comforting hand on her shoulder. "See, Maya, you're learning to ask for help when you need it. That's strength, not weakness." For the first time, Maya realized that resilience wasn't about doing everything alone. It was about trusting the people who cared enough to help you carry the load. With James and Lily by her side, she could face the challenges of work, motherhood, and life itself. As they settled down that night, James glanced at Lily, who was already making Noah laugh with a funny face. "Sometimes," he whispered to her, "the hardest moments teach us the most important lessons." Lily nodded solemnly, understanding far more than her years suggested. "I'm glad we're helping them, Daddy. We're making their world better." Months had passed since James and Lily first met Maya and baby Noah. The chilly streets and uncertain nights felt like a distant memory. Maya had grown more confident in her job, balancing her work schedule and motherhood with the help of James and Lily. Noah was thriving, his laughter filling the shelter and later their small visits to James's apartment. One sunny morning, James arrived at the shelter with Lily, carrying a basket of snacks and toys. Maya greeted them with a radiant smile, Noah cooing happily in her arms. "Good morning," Lily said, waving excitedly. "Look, I brought Noah his favorite toy." Maya laughed, a genuine sound full of warmth. "You two are amazing. I don't know how I would have made it this far without you." James smiled. "You've done the hard work, Maya. We just helped you along the way." That day, they met with the housing program once again. This time, the news was better. A small but safe apartment was available for Maya and Noah, offering them the independence they had been working toward for months. Maya's eyes filled with tears. "I can't believe it. We'll finally have a place to call our own." James patted her shoulder. "You earned this, Maya. Your determination and hard work made this possible. And remember, we'll always be here if you need us." Lily hugged Noah tightly. "See, Daddy? Everything's working out. Noah will have his own room." The move marked a turning point. Maya's independence gave her confidence. Noah thrived in the new environment, and James and Lily saw the results of their unwavering support. But even with progress, James' new life would continue to present challenges. Their role was evolving, from direct support to guidance and encouragement as Maya built her new life. That evening, as they all sat together in Maya's new apartment, sharing snacks and laughter, James felt a profound sense of fulfillment. What began as a chance encounter on a freezing street had grown into something remarkable, a bond formed by compassion, perseverance, and love. Lily looked at James and whispered, "Daddy, we really helped them. We made their lives better." James smiled, his heart full. "Yes, Pumpkin. And remember this lesson. Even small acts of kindness can change lives. One act can ripple into many, creating hope where there was once fear. Maya looked at them both, gratitude shining in her eyes. You gave me more than just help. You gave me hope, family, and a future. I'll never forget you. The first few weeks in the new apartment were filled with small victories. Noah's laughter echoed through the rooms. Maya settled comfortably into her routine at work, and the bond between James, Lily, Maya, and Noah grew stronger every day. One quiet evening, after putting Noah to sleep, Maya and James sat in the living room. Lily was curled up on the sofa with a book, occasionally glancing up to smile at them. I never imagined life could feel like this, Maya whispered. Safe, stable, and full of hope. You and Lily changed everything for me. James shook his head gently. No, Maya, you changed it too. We just helped you see the path. You had the courage and strength all along. Lily bounded over, holding Noah's tiny hand. See, Daddy? We did it together. Noah has a home, and Maya is happy. Maya laughed softly, tears glimmering in her eyes. Yes, together. You really are my family now. Over time, the trio continued to support Maya, but their role evolved. They became friends, mentors, and a constant source of love rather than just emergency helpers. James marveled at Lily's kindness and resilience, how a little girl's compassion had sparked such profound change. Months later, as the seasons changed and the first hints of spring appeared, Maya felt a newfound confidence. She had stabilized her work, maintained a nurturing environment for Noah, and begun to dream about long-term goals. James and Lily visited often, bringing meals, laughter, and love. One evening, sitting together on the balcony, James looked at Maya and Lily and said, "This journey started with a single act of compassion on a cold night. And look at what it's become, a family built on love, trust, and hope." Lily, leaning against Maya's shoulder, whispered, "Daddy, sometimes helping someone feels like magic, doesn't it?" James smiled, wrapping an arm around his daughter. "Yes, Pumpkin, the kind of magic that changes lives forever."